This right here is the camera sling from Clever Supply Co. It is pretty much my everyday carry camera bag. It fits multiple things, as if you saw in my video, I had both this Hasselblad and this A9III in there when it got stolen. Obviously, I got it back because it's right here. But today, we've got the new Clever Supply Sidekick Pro. It is obviously a much smaller version of that EDC bag for people that might not need to be carrying as much stuff as I often do. So let's check it out, see the kind of pros, see what goes into this, and if it's going to be replacing my larger camera sling. Now, this video isn't sponsored or anything like that. Todd is a friend of mine, and I've just known him for years before he even made this kind of stuff. So they did send this bag over, knowing that I'm probably gonna make a video for it, but it's not like I have to or anything like that. But I do wanna support them because I do think that they're a cool company. I do have affiliate links, so that's how I can make money if you do order something like this. But they are a company that I do like to support, so take that for how you will. Now, the point of this bag, obviously different than this much larger bag. This still works great as an everyday carry bag. Obviously, this one just can be a little bulky at times, like when I'm riding on a bicycle or something like that. This does work well and obviously does a great job, but this is definitely more of a smaller EDC kind of thing, whether I'm gonna just go downtown real quick, whether I'm going to go to the park with my kids. It's mostly like as if I'm gonna bring like a camera, or maybe I'm shooting film and I'm gonna bring some more film, things like that. It's just obviously made for like one camera, maybe one camera and a much smaller camera, but just kind of made for just going out and taking photos real quick and not needing to bring a ton of other stuff. That being said, if you look at the table here, we have a lot of stuff. So I kind of wanted to check and see what kind of stuff builds out in this well and what stuff would make the most sense, I guess. Now, the first thing that I was thinking when I first got this bag is, okay, so obviously something like the Leica M11, it's gonna fit great. We have no issues there. Now, one of the things that they did was they made this little clever cube here that definitely kind of like softens things up and makes, gives you more padding and whatnot. Obviously a really cool thing. But I haven't tried this out, but I wanna see if I do take this microphone off because that's gonna make a lot of sense. There are pockets in the interior here. There is one main pocket, a large one there, and then there's two kind of smaller ones on the sides. So kind of want to just see like, can I load this in with an attached filter on it? And it mostly closes. There's a little bit here. I will say I do have that thick little base plate on here that has the AirTag. So for a little vlog setup, that's actually a pretty big vlog setup, this definitely isn't necessary, but obviously helped me quite a bit. So can you fit a full Sony setup in here? Like, can I close it up? Yes. Was it a little bit more difficult? Also, yes. So it's more of like a camera storage kind of thing. I could also fit a few batteries in here. We also have this front pouch for if you're exploring a city that has, you know, like a subway or a metro system, you can put tickets, things like that in there. And then while I'm actually using this to kind of check my framing and whatnot, what I like is you can just toss something like a phone into something like this. Makes just like exploring a city or something like that a little bit easier. So nice to know that I can fit a full little vlog setup kind of thing in there. And this is like a large, definitely overkill vlog setup for sure. But it's the thing that I was using while I was in Europe this last summer. So, you know, nice to know. Now, I think that the target audience for something like this is going to be more with something like this, like a Q3 that I have on loan from Leica. Now, something like that is obviously going to have like no issues. And I believe it should even fit into this camera cube here. Yeah. So if you want to use the little clever cube here and then add it into the bag, the nice part as well, obviously you wouldn't do this with this exact setup because they're both 28mm, but you could also add something like this Ricoh GR3. So let's say you had like a Q3 43 and a Ricoh GR3, you could bring both of those, or you could bring obviously like a Q3 and then a Ricoh GR3X. So something like that fits really well. Another thing that I end up doing a lot is if I'm going out to, like, let's say I'm going to make a video about the Q3 or want to get some sample images or something like that. I've been trying out a bunch of different action cameras. So this is the Insta360 X4. It's a 360 cam. So really easy to toss that in there. Obviously, this is like the Go 3S that has this little detachable thing here for some more POV stuff. That fits in there really easily. And then something like this little Hobo Light Iris. So this is something that when I'm actually out doing like weddings or elopements or something, I always want to have a small light that's going to give me something in a pinch. And obviously this is going to fit in there, no problem as well. Now, one of the things I actually didn't think of though, is let's say I'm building out a Leica M kit, and I'm assuming this will work even with the cube in here. But let's say I have my Leica M11. This has the 28 Summicron on it. Obviously that's going to fit no problem. But let's say I want to bring something like this 40 millimeter. Oh yeah, that fits no problem as well. And actually, if I back this up this way, it probably actually fits a little bit better. Yep. So definitely something that if you have a Leica, you could definitely bring a small little 2-lens kit with no real issues. Now with the M11, obviously that's going to work. It's going to work well with something like the Nikon ZF. Now let's see, actually, it looks like, oh, I bet actually this is a better idea to go. Yeah. So the ZF with the cube is a little tight because it's like a taller camera. So you can see that it's going to stick out a little bit. But if you take the cube out, I'm sure that will end up giving us more than enough room on the bottom side, because this vertically is going to, oh yeah, I mean, you just toss that in there and it just disappears. So you can stick the ZF in any configuration actually, as long as the cube is out, so you take a little bit of less space. But what's nice about this, and I think that this is kind of like if you're someone that doesn't like a camera strap, you can wear this, take the camera in and out, not have to need a strap, maybe toss a wrist strap on there. I would suggest that. But then you can just kind of take this in and out really easily. ZF with the 40 mil, another really great EDC camera. Now, one of the things that I was interested to know is, okay, would this make like a good film pouch kind of thing as well? So let's say I have my Hasselblad 500 CM. Does this fit in here? I'm assuming it will. Oh, yep. No problems at all. Obviously just disappears straight into there. And then the nice thing about this as well is that you do have these little openings in here where you can stick some film. Some 120 film would absolutely fit in there really easily. Would fit in this back pouch as well. So if I'm gonna go out for a quick little jaunt to take some photos with my 500 CM, would definitely work really well. In that same vein, this would make a great little thing for the 907X. Clearly that's gonna fit really well. And the nice thing about either a camera like this, which I have never actually needed to charge this in the middle of a day, but one of the bonuses is you could definitely fit like a little battery bank in the back here for something like the Q3, the M11, pretty much any of these cameras now, thankfully, take USB-C charging. So putting a battery bank in here to use for your iPhone or even charge literally any device on this table, except for obviously the film cameras, is going to work well. And the strap is long enough for even like a very large person like me to do like a crossbody bag. And this has like a lot of extra room in it. So this is just kind of the nice part. You just kind of like, you know, pull your little camera out, and it's much less obtrusive than the larger bag. Again, I love the larger bag. I've been carrying it almost every day since it came out, or before it even came out. But the nice part is all these different cameras, obviously like the X100VI. It just makes bringing like a single camera, maybe another lens, maybe another accessory, pretty easy. Even like with the X100VI, I could bring this camera as well as like the WCL adapter, maybe just like wrap the adapter, which is essentially another lens, bring some extra batteries, and generally just have like a nice little bag that, especially in a city, Works really well to hold your phone, hold AirPods or whatever. And then like something that I use is like this little EDC thing from Condor Blue and my friend David Manning. And a nice way to, maybe you don't want to have a AirTag in your bag at all times. This is something that I've recently done, is to put an AirTag into my office keys that also has like a little Leatherman multi-tool on it. The thing itself is a multi-tool, and then I can just stick this in one of these pouches. Usually I would stick something like this in the front pouch or a back pouch, so I'm not worried about, you know, all this metal hitting my cameras. And then not only do you have a tool to pull off little tripod plates and whatnot, I have my keys, but I also have an AirTag. So if this bag did ever disappear from me, I could probably get it back. So anyway, if you want to check this out, the link is in the description down below. Shout out to my friends at Clever Supply. Todd, always appreciate you and the company. So if you're interested in a small little bag like this, I'm pretty pumped on it, and we'll definitely be using it, especially in a lot of these videos coming up that I have for things like the Q3, making a video on the M11. I have some more stuff coming up with the Hasselblad. So a lot of these, even including the ZF, I have another video coming out on this. So most of the stuff on this table is getting a video here pretty soon, and thankfully it can all fit in this bag. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to check out my video on the original sling, you can check it out up here. Check out my other video on just like all the other camera bags I own up here, and I can see you in one of those videos.